Sword Art Online is a metaphor for 9/11.
What's going on, Internet? I'd like to welcome you guys back to Respectfully Speaking, the podcast where we talk about all things geek. Thanks for tuning in to episode number 16. Now, before we get into the hot takes that we have today, if you are watching the YouTube version of the podcast on youtube.com/respectfully speaking, know this podcast is also available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major platforms. My name is James, and I'm here with my two co-hosts today, Jason and Malcolm, and I have a bunch of hot takes to show them. I have not told them at all what it's going to be, so I wanted them to be surprised. I found, I believe, 5 to 6 hot take videos that I thought went from like a little like whatever, like okay, that's an opinion, sure, to like, oh, this is very spicy take. All right. So Jason is very opinionated on everything in life, but specifically anime. Malcolm has seen a total of like 1.5 if you count Boruto, okay, in his lifetime. So we have a good range here to talk about anime. All right. So before we dive in, do you guys have any thoughts before I show you guys the trauma I'm gonna leave on you?
Let's see what you got. It might not be as high.
No comment.
We're gonna start slow. We're gonna start a little small.
What if we agree with it? Like, will you be mad at us?
No, it'll be interesting. I want to know like why do you guys agree with it or not? So
we both have a lot of hot takes on.
Facts though. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen here and let's get going. So this one was a podcast. I forgot their name, but I've been watching them, and they have some good content. So here's their thoughts.
And I'm going to leave it here. They should have killed All Might off season 1.
Oh wait, can y'all hear it?
Yeah, it's a little loud actually. If you could,
it is.
Cut it a little bit.
How about now?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it here. They should have killed All Might off season 1. And I stand on that.
I would say, I don't know how many seasons of My Hero Academia there were, but I feel like mid-season, mid-show, he should have died.
Or he was supposed to die after, like in the first season, the whole point of him, when he lost his power, or whatever season it was, that he like turns to the camera and he's like, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
Okay, so go.
So die.
Like, my thing is like, why did he stick around for so much longer?
Yeah.
He should have.
Not even so much longer, till the very end.
He never died.
So, did y'all, both y'all faces crazy. So, how do we feel about this take right here? I want Malcolm to go first. I feel like his take will be interesting.
Definitely don't agree with that. After hearing the explanation, I can kind of see where she's coming from, but like, I'll just say this. I think I'm glad they didn't kill All Might specifically because I think it's a reoccurring trope, not even just in anime, in like any type of media where the master, the sensei, the older person in like whoever the main character is, like the older person in their story has to die for some reason. And like, they don't have to die. I think that's just, we just got so used to it and so comfortable with it that it's just the expectation. Like she sounded like this is hitting all the beats. This is hitting all the parts. Like he's supposed to die. So why didn't he die? It's like, he doesn't have to. Like maybe it could have been different. The story definitely would have been different if he died, but it doesn't mean it would have been better. It just would have been different. I'm glad he didn't die because I don't think I needed another show, another series, another anything type of media where like the big figure fatherhead character is dead or dies early on in the show. I still need that. But I'll let Jason go.
Go ahead,
Jason. I 100% agree with Malcolm here. I think the hot take is kind of full from like the arbitrary, like, you know, we need some shock value about like right here in the middle and then a little bit right here before the end. And then the payoff's supposed to happen because somebody dies. And I'm just not with this idea that like somebody has to die for a story to be good. And I think the nature of My Hero Academia works better that he didn't die. Especially at the end. Spoiler alert, All Might doesn't die in My Hero Academia. And at the very end, he almost does die. And if he was not there for that final fight, where he almost got ripped in half by All For One, that fight would have been less hot. What better stakes other than teaching your teacher, your mentor, especially someone who passed the torch and lost all his powers. So I think All Might sticking around without powers but still influencing the story was more meaningful than him just having powers, dying, and then Deku just has a ghost to chase after. I think it is more meaningful the way that it was.
It's more meaningful. It's more unique. It's just more. It stands out more as he's there. He may have died spiritually or however you want to phrase it. He died the persona of All Might, the number one hero, died, but All Might, the person, All Might, the experience, All Might, the character with all the wisdom was still there to teach Deku physically in the flesh. I'm glad they didn't kill him and then find a way. It was but he's still around in some mystical, unforeseen thing in Deku's head or his dreams or whatever. And he can still give advice. No, he's still alive. He can't do anything, but he's still on the sidelines of trying to make sure he's living up to the potential of being the number one hero. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think it would have been a cop-out if he died. And I think it would have made the story more basic. Because I think there was no shortage
basic?
of
That's pretty rough. Wait, you said basic?
It would have made it basic. Absolutely.
Like what Malcolm's saying is it's been done over and over and over and over. And My Hero Academia is following a long legacy of shonen, but My Hero Academia is also the first shonen not to be serialized. It's more seasonal, which gave it the freedom to actually spell out its stories in a more thoughtful way. Compared to say the Naruto's and the Bleach, all the shonen tropes, right? And also it wasn't as though there was other types of loss. When Lemillion lost his powers, he might as well have just died because that's how he took it. I don't think he needed to die because, again, his career it's like in Naruto. Another spoiler if you haven't seen Naruto. Chunin exams. When Rock Lee found out he might not be able to be a ninja anymore after Gaara crushed his arm and leg, that hit us like a ton of bricks. He wasn't around for that long at that point, but it still hit us like a ton of bricks. We don't need to die for the story to hit you hard.
All Might should have been dead the first episode he gave Deku his powers. He should have been stabbed.
James likes basic, generic
you don't
stories.
even
He
believe
loves generic stories. He loves
I don't believe that. I'm just here for the drama. Okay. Let me be devil's
What
advocate.
do you actually think?
I'll be devil's advocate for her first. Because I think, if I'm being completely honest, that is something that does happen in stories where the mentor dies before they can teach the hero. So that would have been interesting for Deku to not have that guidance, that cheat sheet of what these abilities are, these things inside of him, quirks inside of him and stuff like that. He had to just figure it out on his own. That's a whole different, be quiet, Jason. That would have been a whole different story narratively and probably more impressive because as he's learning about his powers, we're learning about his powers too. Instead of he can just go to All Might and get all his questions answered, which remove some tension.
He still had that with All Might alive because All Might only understood the power quirk. He didn't understand all the other quirks.
Hey, I said I was devil's advocate. I didn't say she was right.
You said it would be interesting versus what she said, she said the show is worse for him not having dying. Versus...
That's fair.
There are lots of things in good stories that would be interesting, and we don't know whether or not that would be good or bad.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll say this. This is my true opinion. My true objective opinion is, yes, unfortunately, I have to disagree with her. Because when I first saw it, I was like, I don't think so. Because I can't imagine, pretty much what you guys said, I can't imagine Deku going through this without All Might there. And I think Deku needed to see All Might. Because my favorite fight in My Hero Academia is All Might versus, what's it, Nobu? Like the first during the first big fight.
The training arc where Shigaraki interrupted the training.
And he infiltrated the training grounds and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that whole big fight and Deku seeing with his own eyes as a hero, seeing his mentor beat down this monster and everything like that. I do think that gave him more motivation and drive to pursue this power set. So I agree with you guys. I wholeheartedly. She is wrong. So that was the first hot take. This one is interesting because in case y'all don't know this, we're all Christians. So this one has to deal with anime and its relationship with the church. Let's check it out. So here we go.
My hottest take is that I'm kind of tired of the church being the bad guys in fantasy shows. They should try something different.
Maybe attack another institution that's worthy of criticism.
Yeah, I understand there are some criticisms of the church, but like it's been kind of overdone, I feel like.
Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, more
Okay.
or less.
Well said. Like the government, that's always a good one.
I'm not a big fan of the government.
A lot of people aren't in these days.
All right. So his hot take was basically that a lot of animes are always going after the church. And to be fair, I think it's more so the Catholic Church, to be honest, that people are referencing. What do we think?
I think general church is still like I think the general idea of church, the idea of like an institution that claims authority from a higher power, but also keeps the followers semi-ignorant for the sake of like control, right? And like religion's been used for control throughout history, so I think it's kind of a valid trope. I would be lying if it didn't bother me that it was always the case, but I see where it's coming from. And we also have seen the whole evil government trope, like, oh, don't let them find out you got powers. They're literally gonna like dissect you in a lab or something. But that's also based in reality. That's something the government would do and historically has done. You know what I mean? So I think it's a valid take because it is an overdone trope, and I think there are other ways to communicate I guess corrupt authority other than the church. And I think most of the time when I see it in these stories without it being a church, there's a little bit more nuance. Like there's like the Madaras, and then there's like the pain, and you know, all the different like entities where it's kind of like, oh, they're definitely wrong, but I can see how they got there. But with the church, a lot of times in anime, I will see it as like some old dude and he's like possessed by like a demon or something, or it's just like he's just some old dude who's just really evil just for the heck of it. And I just don't like that. I feel like it's a little bit lazy. We could do a little better as
You think
far
that's
as like
lazy?
telling stories.
You think that's
So I
lazy,
kind of
though?
agree with the hot take. What about you, Mom?
Oh wait, am I
Yeah.
muted?
No, you're here.
Okay. Go ahead, Mom.
Yeah, I agree. I like pretty much agree with Jason again. I see where it's coming from. I can see why it's a trope. I'm not even mad that it is a trope. Because sometimes it just makes sense for it to be that way. I would like to see different variations of it, but I'm not gonna be out here and saying like this needs to completely stop, this needs to end. Like I'm not like mad at the behalf of like the entire world church community. Like it's just like like hey, it's just an easy way to tell a story that like a religious organization, group, community, whatever you want to call it, has a way of controlling and manipulating people like that. It's just based off reality and facts. That's just how that is. It would be nice to see a religion be on the good guy side for once or twice, but it's not like I'm like dying for it. I'm not dying for that story where I'm like I need to see the religious people win. It's just like all right, like if it happens, if it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not hanging on every breath. I'm not like demanding it from storytellers. And also we got to keep in mind anime comes from Japan, and I'm pretty sure Japan's not a really religious country anyway. So it definitely makes sense of how they treat it versus how it's seen in the Western.
Yeah,
Does
they have
anyone-
like a pretty interesting relationship with missionaries historically, which I think.
I was about to say
influences-
like what's the most popular religion in Japan? Does anyone know?
it's Buddhism and Shintoism,
Okay.
if
I
not
find it
atheism.
interesting. Okay. So I guess for me, I do understand his take. I do think it gets kind of stale. And mind you, I'm not even say stale because as a Christian person, but I say stale more so because I like. Okay, I read books. I love books that are about oppressive fiction, meaning like Hunger Games, Red Rising, where it's about you're going against the system, the status quo, and you're trying to break it down. I like those type of books. I think they're interesting. But I think what I like about Hunger Games, Red Rising, and a bunch of those other books that fit that type of mindset is that they, like Malcolm said, there's like more nuance. Sometimes it's a made up religion, sometimes it is an actual institution, but it's coming from a different angle. Um, and it's more interesting than, okay, we have the 200th anime that's about the church having some conspiracy where they're hiding the truth from their followers, basically, because for some reason, something Christian, something God related, like, oh, God said they couldn't handle this message. I'm the messenger. I'm the one who can actually handle this burden. Thus, I must perform this task. I feel like that gets overdone every once in a while. I prefer something a little bit different. So I can see both of your perspective that when it comes to the idea that all the church, all these animes having church and all this commentary, it can get tiresome. And for me personally, I would rather see other faiths tackled as well. You know, like you said, like Buddhism or Hinduism, or well, that's more so like just more of a faith
They
institution.
hit those though.
But they do. But I feel like and I'll be fair here, the more popular shonen ones, like Send Us to Be a Hero is a good example. Like the more popular hot animes, usually it's centered around a church or religious Catholic leading mindset than strictly Buddhist or even all these or other religions across the world. But what's done is done. I get it.
I want to ask you guys your opinion or something, just off this. So, like, do you guys get like in a lot of these shows, like, if they ever get to the point where it goes beyond the church and it actually starts to like characterize whatever that story's version of God or angels is? Do you ever get like the sense that they tend to like prefer writing God as like powerful and kind of like ignorant and like aloof, kind of like the Greek God, more than like say what we would consider the Christian God, right? I don't know. I'd be feeling like I'd be watching some of these shows. And, I watch a lot of isekai, so like a lot of times it'll be like a god-esque character. He's like, oh, like I'm the god and I reincarnated you, but I can only help you so much. Like sometimes you're powerful, but you're like super limited, and it's just like a very young, like personified, like not wise-esque kind of god. It's usually like an arrogant, limited god that's super. I don't know if you guys have seen that often in anime. I've seen it in anime.
When you were talking about it, I don't know why I can't think of a specific show right now, but like when you're talking about it, I can picture like it's just a show showing that a god is just they substitute the word god for a really strong character, stronger than any other character in the universe, and so they just call that a god, and like I think that's just where we differentiate our definition of God versus some of these people's definition of God. It's like I said, their definition of God is just like the most powerful person versus our definition is like all knowing, all powerful, all everywhere, omnipotent. Like it's
not
different
necessarily
levels.
that. Not necessarily that, because I understand like sometimes they'll use it as like God as in like, oh, the god of fire. He's like the strongest with fire. Another one's like the god of healing, the strongest with healing. Like in certain stories, I'm like, all right, fine, I totally get that. I'm talking about like in the context where they're seemingly making like satire or like parody of like say the Catholic Church kind of vibe. I don't know how else to say it, but like that shape
American
of church that they put into their stories. Like you said, ReZero is a good one. I think ReZero actually shows a lot more nuance, and it's not necessarily like ReZero is like a better example of like what that looks like.
More so focusing on like there's certain like the institution could be corrupt, but like there's individuals in that corrupt system trying to do what they can. Like it does show.
Yeah, and that's more falling in the line of like God's plural.
Yeah,
as well. But that's neither here nor there. Also, spoiler,
wait.
my bad.
I have an opinion on that. I actually think that how do I say this? Your question was about like what like how do we feel about them using God in this type of like more humane way, like more aloof, more ignorant to things. Like that's what we should question, right?
I'm wondering if you guys also noticed that. Just now that we're talking about it, because I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, I feel like, but I feel like the reason why is because a lot of people, and this might get a little deep into theology with you guys. I'm sorry, but I do think that that's because a lot of people in the world, they can't fathom the idea of a omnipotent, all-knowing God that is everywhere, and then there's stuff happening in the world. So I think in a writer's mind, in order for the plot to make sense and for God to take part in said plot, there has to be a reason why God was not involved with a person's death, why a company gained so much power or wealth or whatever, greed or whatever. So to them, they have to say, okay, maybe God is actually limited. Maybe he can have God powers, but only temporarily, or maybe he's just aloof, or maybe he's standoffish. Because how else in their head can they explain why their universe's God wasn't involved, basically?
So that way they could deal with the problem of suffering and evil without
Yes, exactly.
necessarily losing that character in their story and also losing the, I guess, tension of the story.
Exactly.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
All right. So next hot take I have here for you guys. This one I liked a lot because it's interesting. He makes a claim that shonen anime has a big problem. Let's see what he has to say.
My hot take is that shonen has privilege in anime that no other genre has. And it makes no sense why a show can be absolutely terrible story wise and have amazing animation and fight scenes and still be considered great and top tier.
You heard it first. So he's pretty much saying that why does the shonen genre out of all the anime get get leniency, but romance, slice of life, comedy, everything else, they have to have a great story, or else you guys will drop the show. Who wants to go first on this one?
This one's easy, man. You could say it's a double standard, but Shonen prints money. It's hard to make merchandise of freaking like when the fragrant flower blooms. What am I gonna do? Buy a T-shirt? Like you're gonna buy Mad Dragon Ball Z merch. You want to make a video game about that mug, dude? Video games, TV, hoodies, like even the what's the ones you put on your Crocs, the gibbets or whatever.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's all about money. That's why Static Shock got canceled, even though a bunch of other shows kept running. It wasn't for lack of popularity. It was about merchandise.
Mm.
And the shonen demographic
You can't market it. Yeah, if you can't market it and sell it with multiple different items, like it's just not going to work. Like that's why Pokemon, like I don't know the story of Pokemon, or at least currently. Ooh,
Bless you. Dang.
my bad. I'm sorry, but I like it. It's marketable. It's sellable. It's just really basic, really simple. Capitalism.
I mean, you say capitalism is crazy. No, but it's true though. I think I know why. Because yeah, shonen prints money, and the target demographic is young teenage boys, which is true. But it does explain too, like why even when it comes to like I believe you call it seinen and romance can also, because like romance is also popular, and like look at Blue Box, or look at quintessential quintuplets and everything like that, or Kaguya-sama Love is War. Like those are popular too, but you can't just have a flashy animation for those things and be okay. Why is it that we are accepting lack of story quality? Some people quote Soul Leveling. I'm not saying Soul Leveling is bad, but people are saying Soul Leveling is one of those bad anime, and Demon Slayer. Why is it that Demon Slayer and Soul Leveling can have bad storytelling, but the animation picks up?
If it's rule of cool, bro, it's the rule of cool. Say I'm wrong.
That's it. I mean, I get it. I get it. It's the rule of cool.
Hear me out. Who cares about story if you're 13 years old and you just want to watch a power fantasy about cats getting beat up? Sometimes the best stories are super cool, but the artist also was a good storyteller. But if the story was less good,
Yeah.
the only difference would be there would be less older viewers, but there would still be a lot of viewers. Like you guys like Classroom of the Elite, for goodness sake. Dude, if I was like 14, I would probably like that show. I'm not 14.
Even if you're in your 20s, it's pretty good
that
too.
show sucks. The writing is terrible.
No, it doesn't.
Every time I can't sit through 2 episodes without being taken out by all the like inconsistencies in tone, the stupid reasonings for why things work out. If I wanted to watch someone pull an answer out of their behind and it always work out, I would watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because that's acceptable in that show.
But it has a really great story of this man
going
to a school and outsmarting everybody. It's peak fiction.
The motivation is online.
No.
Listen, you're just trying to trigger me right now. You're just trying to trigger me.
I'm trying to trigger you.
And I don't like it. I don't like it, bro. We already talked about it. You know, you said that some shoujos like Blue Box and whatever, like they move units and they stick around. It's because people buy the manga. Anime is trailers for the manga. Anime doesn't make money. Anime just makes people look at what makes money.
So, are you saying that the reason why we can excuse the terrible story quality of Shonen is because 13-year-old horny boys are buying manga?
No. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to do cause and effect here. I'm not trying to justify anything. There's so many amazing stories.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many amazing stories that I wish got finished and never got finished. And it's probably because they didn't move units, or they were hard to make merchandise of. That's why character design is so central to all these shows. And also what's central is like they all look cool. Jinwoo looks cool. You see a like average, like looking down at his shoes while he's walking, E rank hunter go to Mr. S rank. He's in the joint. What's her name? The S rank blonde chick.
I know. And I don't know her name. I know you're talking about.
He passes by her and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what's that wonderful smell? Hunters usually smell terrible." Type vibe. Of course, it's gonna sell units. If you're 12 and you're trying to watch that mug. If you're 15, 16 trying to watch that mug, and even if you're not, the fight scenes are dope. Watching any story about someone who actually is a hard worker, which Jinwoo always was, actually make it out the mud. Some people are in the mud right now. So you want to watch a story about someone making it out the mud. Who wants to watch a story about someone staying in the mud?
I think the people who dog on solo leveling, they forget that it's about a guy leveling up. That's literally the whole point of the show. You're watching this guy become... Okay. Why are we acting like we don't like these type of shows of OP characters? I'm sorry. Yes. Can you have good writing with an OP character? Yes, you can. Like, Overlord is good. There's the show, if you know this in the comment section. It was a demon lord. I think it's called A Regular Magic at High School or something like that. It was about some demon lord who lost to like a hero party. He gets reincarnated like 1,000 years later. Society has moved on, and no one believes that he's actually the demon lord. So he goes into his magical academy because that's what he has to do in society. Yes, phenomenal.
I forget what it's called. I only got through like half a season.
Yes, it's stupid fun. You know why it's stupid fun? It's because all you can do is watch this guy go from every battle, and he's like, "Huh, you thought you could beat me? I saw this coming." And then he has an overpowered move that beats you in one swoop. It's the same way y'all like One Punch Man, and One Punch Man sucks.
Facts.
And y'all love One Punch Man. Yes, I said it.
I love how you said facts, and it's like, whoa.
I know. See why I like One Punch Man, and I said facts, and then he said it sucks. No, I said balls. No.
One Punch Man sucks.
I didn't like One Punch Man the first time I watched it because I was wanting a larger story and world building and systems and all that stuff. Nah, it's just about a dude who did a bunch of push-ups and ran a lot, who beats everybody, and he's bald. That's it.
There's no stakes. This man could beat everybody with a fingernail.
So when you're rating a show based off what it's intending to do versus what you want from it, you're gonna get two different stuff. which is exactly why shows like Solo Leveling are good and why isekais have been hot for like 8 years now. Although they're kind of on the downside right now because there's too many of them and they all kind of suck.
Hold on. James, don't you like Dragon Ball? Can't Goku beat everybody?
No,
Nah, bro. He lost a lot, bro.
Yeah, Goku's lost a lot. Goku lost against Cell.
Yeah,
he had to get his son to come in.
But
Maybe
he's still
the
alive.
first 30 episodes of Dragon Ball, it was Goku runs through everybody's show.
No, like, okay, so here's the thing. Goku, he always trains. The thing with One Punch Man is that you watch, like, the first episode, it's just him doing push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, rock hard abs, whatever, and then the entire 2 seasons, 3 seasons of bad
We're talking about
animation.
the season, bro.
We're going to talk about all of it. Y'all hype up, you know what? One Punch Man actually proves this point here because it's a shonen anime with bad animation quality and bad story, and y'all still hype it up.
Nobody hyped up season 3. Nobody hyped up season 3. Season 1 was animated good.
No, it wasn't. I'm tired. You know what? I'm gonna be on my
Nah,
hater
dog.
right here. Y'all hype up.
Watch it, bro. You're just an op right now. You're just negative. You don't want to be happy. The reality
This man
is,
talked bad about Dragon Ball Z and said Goku was like what's that dude from One Punch Man? I don't know his name.
Saitama?
Yeah.
Goku was not
Virgil.
Saitama. Goku was more complex than that.
I wasn't trying to make the 1-on-1 comparison that like Goku is just like he's One Punch Man, like he literally just wins every fight. But I meant like you complain that like he could just win every fight. It's like can't Goku also win almost every
Not
fight?
without yelling first and reaching another level.
Most of his wins were him jumping the villain. What do you
Jumping
mean?
the villain.
Dog, bro, like 2/3 of Dragon Ball's fights was a jumping where Goku was the one who did the final blow. But those were all jumpings, bro. As far as I'm concerned, Vegeta won the first fight.
He did win the first fight. No one wants to talk about it though. But yeah, no. So Malcolm was trying to compare the GOAT known as Goku to this One Punch Man. So regardless, I'm gonna move on to the topic because Malcolm's trying to gaslight me.
Disrespecting Goku.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're moving on to this hot take. Now, this hot take was interesting because he makes a bold claim about why anime culture is so toxic. And I don't have to study to back up his claim, but I'm not gonna lie to you, this study is real. It does explain a lot about why people like Jason and Malcolm think that. Let's play. Let's see what's going on.
Could play the video.
A lot of people just have not seen enough. I saw a statistic recently that absolutely blew my mind, and it was that the vast majority of anime viewership in the West is centered around 6 series. 6 shows make up the vast majority of viewership. There are tens of thousands of anime out there. There are dozens released every single season. Honestly, seeing that stat made it make sense to me why like somebody will reference a very obvious, like famous scene from Dragon Ball or something from the Big 3 or something from like any of the most popular series. And somebody will be like, you know ball. Unironically, as if knowing that America has 50 states is ball knowledge. No, that's common knowledge. It actually blows my mind a bit because ironically, we have more access to anime than we ever did, albeit with some of our favorite sites going down recently. But somehow people are watching fewer series than we were when we had to catch it at the right time on TV or we just missed it. When what anime we got to see was decided by TV channel executives. The entire history of anime is right there at your fingertips in the phone that you're holding. Watch some anime, man.
Ooh,
Yeah,
bold
this
claim.
was directly directed towards me, James. I know you did this towards me. I get it.
I
get it.
You can talk.
I 100% a shot on me. What's the hot take here? I don't understand the hot take. This was just a man stating a fact. Like, what was?
So I guess the hot take that he's trying to say is that it makes sense on why the discourse is the way it is because you guys, not you, Malcolm, but you guys.
You already do. All right.
In the anime community, only will watch 6 or 7 of the most popular anime during that time period. Whereas back then whereas right now we should be diving to more niche animes to develop our palette and our taste bud, but we only focus on the top 6. I assume the top 6 he's talking about is JJK, Chainsaw Man, My Academia, and all of the stuff. And
Solo Leveling.
Solo Leveling. And I think his second point was that because we only watch, well, not we, but only because a lot of anime people watch 6 or 7 animes majority of the time, they get hyped when a celebrity, I'm not gonna say no names, when a celebrity says, "Oh, my favorite anime is Naruto," or "My favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter," and like, "Oh, that's ball knowledge right there." No, it's not. That's common. No, it's not. High School DxD. That's something. Actually, probably not. To be
That's
honest.
even
That's actually
even
not
then,
low
that's
key.
not.
Now, if you want to get into it,
That's not ball knowledge. Actually,
School
depending on
days.
how well you reference it, it can be.
Yeah, it
exactly how you reference it.
Because of
That's
how
true.
old it is. Because anime wasn't hot. Like when High School DxD was hot, it was before anime was like properly mainstream. It was on its way up. Anime wasn't mainstream when DxD dropped.
Yeah.
Granted, I've only seen like a few episodes, and that was years ago when I was in high school. But I know enough. You know when people talk about shows and you don't have to watch it to like know certain references.
That's what Malcolm does.
Shut
Bro, facts, bro.
Malcolm be
Every
looking
time
at
we're on
clips,
the
and that's how
pod,
he gets the anime.
Mongo be like, "Well, I haven't seen it, but this is my opinion."
I will continue speaking. So, first of all, I'm not condoning this, as in like you only need to watch 6 shows and you're a big anime fan. You're big. I don't even like subscribe to that. That's why I don't ever go out of my way and be like, "Oh, I'm a huge anime fan." I've never said that. I like a lot of the shows that I've seen, and I have seen some things that are not really mainstream at all. Like not in the top 6. Honestly, there's a lot of mainstream shows I haven't seen. I don't. Obviously, I've like watched a couple of 100 episodes of One Piece, whatever. And Naruto is my favorite show, but I also feel like I can say Naruto is my favorite show because I've been watching it for so long. Like, I think there's a difference between like, oh, like Naruto. James brought it up. Like, if a celebrity is like, oh, like I love Naruto, it's my favorite show, and they watched it during the pandemic. It's like no shade to those people, but it's different to where you were like you watched it growing up when you were a child. That's why when I say Naruto is my favorite show, it's because I've been watching it for 20 years. It's not because I watched it 5 years ago during the pandemic and I binge watched it. Like, nah, I remember when I was on Toonami and I waited every Saturday night to watch that. It's different.
He said it's different than y'all.
I like what he said about TV. I just like what you said and what he said. Like, people have more narrow taste, even though we have more access. And I feel like that's a symptom of the times where, like, people don't choose what shows they watch. They just open their phone and scroll, and then they're shown what's popular, and then they watch that. It's the same way cats don't choose what they watch on YouTube when they're on Reels, because all you do is scroll and hope the next video is funny. That's why I'm not surprised that people are watching, despite all the access, people are watching fewer shows. Though, like you said, I'm not that person.
Yeah, I think he hit the hell net about the TV thing. I think the problem that we're having is that people, well, I guess also too short attention span, because like there are people, there's some even like channels, like studios. I know Paramount is a studio that did this, for example, where they had a TikTok that was sliced up of one of their shows. I think it was their live action show, not anime. But they sliced it up in like 1 minute bits on their TikTok, and it got views, and people was commenting on it and stuff like that. Like, people want like small bite, quick content because they want to have a conversation about something, especially if it's a popular show. I'll focus on anime for right now. There's so many people who might want to get into a show, but they would rather just get the quick clips, see what the hot takes are, and then regurgitate it to somebody else. They don't know how to have a deeper conversation with themselves and their own thought process and their own opinions, because we want to quickly see what's popular and then just say our opinion. There's a lot of people. I'm about to play a clip too. There's another hot take that I feel that's what happened. But
I mean, cats are just trying to pass the time these days.
Yeah, they're trying to pass the time these days. They don't really want to actually. I always said we treat. Now here's my thing. I don't even think it's a hot take. I think it's just a real thing. There's so many people who watch Shonen anime, and they have such a surface level conversation about it. It's always about power levels or who should get in a relationship and who's better, who's not better. I'm more so the idea of like, I want to watch and think about, like when I watch Naruto, I want to think about what was the themes of Naruto, like Kishimoto was trying to talk to me. Why was Pain such an interesting character? Not just because, yes, he had a good argument and all this stuff, but like, Why do I feel like Pain had a good argument? What is that? What's my opinion about that of me as a person? Why do I think he had a good argument? Why do I like the Chunin exam so much? Why do I like Hunter x Hunter? What is Gon and Killua like their journey of bromance and everything like that? What is that about? Let's dive into that. Like, there's conversations that we could actually have, but instead people want to talk about the hype scenes of Goku and Naruto with the Nine Tails. They want to talk about Black Clover actually being
That's
good.
always been
when
the
it's
case
not
a little
really.
bit, though, James.
They wouldn't say again.
That's always been the case, though.
I know it's always been the case, but that's my
I think
problem.
the first time you watched Naruto, like 10 years ago, you weren't also like, yeah, when he dropped those weights in front of Gaara, that was lit.
No, that was gay, actually.
We still
but no,
talk
like for real
about
though, I
it.
think. No, but here's the thing. Here's the
Whoa.
thing. Here's the thing, though. I think when you are, I guess we're getting a whole nother topic, but I won't get that far with it. I do think that's the problem with the internet too. We have these type of discourse because you actually don't know who you're talking to. You can be talking to a 12-year-old or 13-year-old who's in that mindset who thinks, "Oh, that was fire." While me at 28, you guys also in your late 20s, we can have a deeper conversation than that. There's so many guys in our mid 20s that have that same thought process. Like we were 13 when it comes to Shonen. We shouldn't at all. Like I'm not saying you can't have like your junk food like isekais or whatever. Or like all the other stuff. I get it. But I
you're
do feel
expecting
like
too much of an uncritical thinking.
I'm expecting people to treat anime like how they'll treat movies and TV shows. Like
I don't think a lot of people are treating media like the way that you're thinking they are in general. Because again, like when we watched Mortal Kombat 2, I went in there, I turned my brain off so that I could leave feeling like I didn't waste my money. People do that with everything.
That's true.
And you can't even blame them either, because we're overstimulated right now.
Are we overstimulated? We are overstimulated. That's true.
Our phones are overstimulated. The economy is trash. And nobody can afford the gas. The price is down for now.
Yeah.
People are going to turn their brains off. Even if it sucks because they're missing out on really dope art, they're missing out on really cool, nuanced ideas that might make them like... There's a lot of cool stuff that gets communicated through art. Like you said, Naruto, pain, like the reason behind suffering, the cycle of revenge. Naruto trying to then tackle that cycle of revenge as he understands more about the world. That's interesting. When I was watching the Chunin exams when I was young bull, I was not thinking about the cycles of revenge and this and that. I just thought it was cool. And I could also resonate with a character like Naruto working through adversity or working through not being popular or just having goals that he cares about. And those goals matter. There's lots of entry points with these types of stories. It's a shame a lot of those like themes and narrative choices, they don't stick. People aren't talking about them. But bro, people are fried right now.
People are fried, but like I think that's the reason why we have the type of discourse we have in the anime community, because people say, "Oh, we're fried. We don't want to we want to sit back and just enjoy, turn our brains off." But then and mind you, that's okay, that's fine. But you can't be the same people who want to turn your brains off watching JJK or My Hero Academia or Attack on Titan or whatever, and to say, "Oh, the ending's bad" or whatever with no real reason. And then you want to hop on the internet or talk to me in person and explain to me why something was bad. No, it wasn't bad. You're just, just illiterate. You're just illiterate. That's what it is. That's the truth of it. You just gotta know how to say your opinion.
I gotta jump in.
Go there, bro.
I think this is a great topic, and I think we should probably do this for our next episode. Just like have this
media literacy? Nah, bro, because it's gonna be too high.
Not just media literacy. I mean, it might end up going there anyway. But just talking about people who watch only like the top 5, top 6 shows out right now, or like know only like a handful of things and only like seen those things and try to have discourse. I think that would be an interesting thing to talk about, like to really flesh out. Because I can see us talking about this for another hour and we don't have time for that. But I want to be able to.
That's fair.
That's true.
All right. So
I haven't seen more than 6 shows.
Final thoughts. Wrap it up for now, James.
I have seen more than 6 shows.
You have seen more than 6 shows.
Like, I know they weren't talking about me. They wasn't talking about me. No. Okay, here's my final thoughts. My final thoughts is, I think I understand where Jason's coming from, and I do think there are some shows where you can turn your brain off and enjoy yourself, and there's shows literally written for just that. But I do think in the shonen anime community specifically, there's so many good shows that are either hidden because it wasn't popular enough, or even major shows that get all the hype. But when you see people talk about these hype shows like Attack on Titan, JJK, Chainsaw Man, they talk more so about the battles, or how crazy, or how good the character designs are, or who should be in a relationship with who. But we never have a deeper conversation about stuff. And I think if we had a deeper conversation about like media literacy in our anime or in what we consume, we wouldn't be distracted when people want to distract us from the Epstein files. That's it. All right, next thing.
I just want to make a report. You sound like Jaden Smith. He was like, why can't we talk about the philosophical and ethical, whatever he said?
The socioeconomic destruction of the world.
Like,
Yes.
I like to think about the socioeconomic state of the world. I think it's really important. I really think that we should like talk about the deeper themes in anime. I feel like
what's crazy is he's right. Is he's just corny for saying it how he said it, but he's actually right.
Corny. I agree with you, but at the same time, I don't like where you're taking it because I think, dude, I think the.
Oh wait, I muted this thing. Hold on, here we go.
And I look and I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age and they're just kind of just selfie. I'm just like, dude, like,
bro, man.
Oh my god, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Yeah, facts. Can we talk about the economic state of the world?
I think that it sucks that good art is being missed up on too. But the reality is, so long as I think I only care so far as they keep making high quality art because I eat anime junk food too, but I like good shows.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I have two more. This one, well, really one more, I guess, after this one. So this one is really short because it literally deals with what we were just talking about Shonen discourse. So this one is Malcolm. I'll have you watch this first. I want to hear your thoughts on it. So I'm just gonna play it. JJK is the worst anime in history.
Jujutsu Kaisen is the worst and most overrated anime in all of human history.
Okay, we've got some cosigns from the crowd, but I can already use my super hearing to hear the comment section and the keyboards lit aflame. Now, folks, calm down. Let's hear them out.
They had a guy that eats the finger of a demon, and then for some reason they make him go to high school. What? It's stupid. It's also stupid.
That was his opinion.
Man, that's stupid. His opinion is stupid. His opinion is wrong.
I agree, he's wrong. Why do you think it's wrong?
I would agree it's overrated, but not for those reasons.
You think it's overrated?
And you said overrated. He said the worst of all time.
He said it's worst of all time, and then he said it was overrated. I think the whole idea of watching 6 or 7 shows and missing everything out means those 6 or 7 shows are overrated enough to make people miss everyone else.
Did you do that on purpose?
What? Trigger me?
The 6 or 7 shows?
No, I didn't. I was too emboldened to even think about it.
So
now I can't focus.
I threw you off your track. I'm sorry.
I think
he's also Malcolm's an educator. That's why.
I think the fact that these top 7 shows that people are watching concurrently at a time that make people not watch anything but those 7 shows makes them all slightly overrated. If you don't watch anything but these, then they're automatically a little bit overrated. That's what I mean by overrated. Not that they're not good or excellent for that matter. Because I also watch a lot of those top shows.
Wait, so you're saying that it's overrated, not the show itself, but because like the main viewership only flocks around these top 7 shows?
I think for lack of having experienced around these hot shows, those hot shows are a little overrated because they pull attention away from hidden gems. I think they deserve their acclaim, and I think people should watch them. I also think they should watch more outside of them. That's the premise that I'm saying is overrated by. Not necessarily that they suck or you're rating it a 9 out of 10 and it should be a 4. I mean, I think Jujutsu
So you don't
Kaisen
think JJK is overrated then? Do you think JJK is overrated?
I guess not in the way that you would normally use that word. No.
Yeah,
But
you're
I
trying
do
to be
think
philosophical.
no, but all right. The hype around it can't live up to now.
You don't think so?
Nah, because like the hype that it got, like say when One Punch Man first dropped, people was like, man, this show's hilarious, show's great. I started watching that mug. The hype was so good. I'm expecting it to be like funny and like animations lit and like the world be super engaging. I just came in with all the expectations. People kept saying, bro, it's gas, bro, so good. They said the same thing for a lot of other shows, and I think nothing can live up to that hype. It's the same thing I said on the other pod where I'm like, yo, if Avatar: The Last Airbender came out as it is, scene for scene, shot for shot, but like in 1080p, right? In 2026, it would not be hot, bro. Like, it would be well received. It wouldn't be this all-time generationally shaping show. Why? Because now its hype has now outlived it.
So you feel like, so you're using that example to say JJK is doomed right now because the hypeness that it has, the aura that it possesses is too high that nothing it could do would ever satisfy a fan of JJK and a non-fan of JJK.
You know what? I'm about to get roasted in the comments again. Because I just finished like the most recent season, and I was like, nah, that gem was hot. I think JJK is hot. I just think people be glazing shows up until the peak of the moon, and then sometimes it just doesn't live up, depending on how much people are saying it's the best show ever. You're gonna love it immediately. 3 minutes in, I'm bored. Because it needs time to cook.
Yes. Like,
so I just feel
Steins
like
Gate would not survive in this current era.
That's a perfect example. Steins Gate needs to be the way that it is, but it took 5 episodes to get good.
Well, really 8 to be honest. I think.
Bro, please don't clip that previous comment about JJK being like overrated out of context, bro. I don't feel like getting flamed up.
I'm gonna clip it out of context. Yeah,
that's the perfect clip to get people to join our show.
They about to get on you.
All right. What I mean to say is Jujutsu Kaisen is overglazed. It's not overrated.
Okay, overglazed. Well, hold on. Like, no, okay, here's the problem. Why can't we overglaze anime? Because here's the thing too, Jason, you overglaze One Piece all the time.
I don't overglaze One Piece. I appreciate it as a fellow fan with you, a fellow fan. I don't be out here talking to casual anime watchers.
James, you also overglaze it too. What are you talking about?
Because I also say I don't recommend One Piece to new anime watchers because I know better.
That's fair. I overglaze One Piece because I
set expectations properly.
Right. I overglaze One Piece because I see the peak cinema that it is, and it deserves all the glaze that it deserves.
It does deserve all the glaze that it gets. It does.
It does.
One Piece is not overglazed.
Malcolm doesn't like it because the pirates are in a vibrant world. He wants like Pirates of the Caribbean where it's dark, it's
we don't have time.
He wants pirates with scurvy and their teeth falling out and they haven't showered in 2 weeks. That's what you want.
I didn't say all that.
No, that's what Malcolm said, bro.
I want cool characters. There's no cool characters. Nobody's
cool.
Whoa, everybody's lame.
This guy just said, yo, how about you clip this joke out of context and let him get flamed up?
I'll say it in context. All the characters in One Piece are lame. Everybody's lame.
Excuse me?
This dude, all characters? Wow.
Dude, he's hurting my heart, bro.
He's being toxic.
It's just a show with a bunch of lame characters.
He's being toxic. Let him be toxic.
Oh my gosh, I feel personally attacked.
I know, literally. So
I didn't call you lame. You're not lame.
I'm not lame.
I feel like you're calling us lame.
You're not.
Like, that's
You're cool.
crazy.
Yo, One Piece is one of the manliest shows that's ever been produced.
Mind you, guys, backstory. We had Malcolm watch a manly, masculine episode of One Piece where it was the two giants who were from Elbaf fighting each other. Any episode. But this episode was them fighting, and they had the honor code and everything. Even though they were like enemies of each other's tribes and everything like that, they still had the honor to fight each other and everything. And so much of that episode was very masculine, very manly and everything. And Malcolm watched it, he was like, I'm going to show y'all a real masculine episode. And he put on Naruto. And it was something about the Hidden Leaf Village going after somebody. I forgot what it was. It wasn't manly. It was just Naruto being Naruto.
Bro. Yo, Naruto is like a manly show like twice a season or twice an arc. Yo, One Piece is a show about people who go out into a world. They don't know what's going to happen, but they stand on business and they show up for their friends. That's some manly stuff right there.
James, make this a poll for an ad for this video. Is One Piece a manly show?
Yo,
nothing to do with the topic of what we're doing.
Super manly. I don't care what anyone says.
I honestly, that wasn't even my argument. I didn't even bring up manly. I think you brought it up. I said it's lame.
Brought it up today. No. How could you call a show like
I said
that?
The characters are lame. The characters are lame.
What does lame mean? Define it.
We don't got time.
Define lame right now.
See, this is what you did. You're gaslit Jason. We're gonna put this on pause because this can go on forever. I have one final video for you.
One last thing, man. One last thing. How can you lame? Lame means you don't walk. How can you not walk and stand on business? I will come up with a better definition at the same time.
Let Malcolm think of a better definition than lame.
I will come back to you,
bro. See, Malcolm, you messed up calling it lame because no one even say it's lame.
I'm not wrong. I said these characters are lame.
We have.
James, you got to cut that
out. We have one last hot take. Now, this one is special. This one is multiple hot takes. Okay, so I'm not going to say you guys got to react to every single one, but just react to whichever one caught your fancy beats. So this is the final hot take. Let's play it now.
I know you are no stranger to hot takes. Don't hold back. Nobody understands the animation is absolute trash. Fans came up with a better ending to Attack on Titan than the creator did. One Piece is great. Power scaling makes no sense. The first episode of Don isn't weird. You just want to be different. Luffy got Ace killed. Stain from My Hero Academia was right. Tsukasa from Dr. Stone was right. Blackbeard's power is plot armor. Zeke Yeager's plan made no damn sense. The last My Hero movie shouldn't have been made. Everybody. This man came with an army.
Black people can cosplay whoever they want. Black people can voice act.
Run that back.
If you got a problem with the last two takes, you're part of the problem.
There was a lot there. You might have to rewatch.
Yeah,
redo it.
Part of it was lagging on my end.
Yeah, it was a little laggy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I know you are no stranger to hot takes. Don't hold back.
Nobody understands Jujutsu Kaisen. We're all just here for the hands. The only good thing about Akira is the animation. The story is absolute trash. Fans came up with a better ending to Attack on Titan than the creator did. One Piece is great. Power scaling makes no sense. The first episode of Don isn't weird. You just want to be different. Luffy got Ace killed. Stain from My Hero Academia was right. Tsukasa from Dr. Stone was right. Blackbeard's power is plot armor. Zeke Yeager's plan made no damn sense. The last My Hero movie shouldn't have been made. Everybody.
This man came with an army.
Black people can cosplay whoever they want. Black people can voice act whoever they want. If you got a problem with the last two takes, you're part of the problem.
I agree with most of it. I don't agree with the One Piece one about Ace and Luffy.
Okay, Luffy got Ace killed?
Malcolm hasn't seen that one. Come on. That's crazy.
I've known this for like 5 years. This is not a spoiler.
Malcolm watches clips on YouTube. He already knows.
Yeah, you're right.
Y'all have talked about this enough. Like, this is not a spoiler enough.
I have never talked about that in front of you.
Maybe you have not, but like I've heard plenty of people talk, and I know that this is not. Now we should do spoiler for anyone who's watching, but like I've known about this for forever.
I do agree that Attack on Titan's ending could have been better, and Zeke Yeager's plan. I'm gonna have to rewatch that like final season, bro. No bull.
I think when it comes to Attack on Titan's ending, I do remember there was an interview with Isayama recently, and he did admit that like he saw part of when he was writing Eren, he was going to do the protagonist becomes the villain trope. Like he had that going for him. But what happened was apparently he started writing Aaron, and as he was writing him, sometimes this happens when you're a writer, is that like sometimes a lot of these characters, especially the protagonists, can be a piece of you too while you're writing them. Like some of your thoughts, some of your ideas, or whatever, some of your actions a little bit. So he said that during that time period of writing Attack on Titan, Aaron actually he saw a little bit of himself in Aaron, and to see Aaron go down that rabbit hole of becoming a villain, it caused him to kind of like hesitate to fully commit to the villainous act because it almost felt like a commentary about himself too, of also being a bad person or et cetera, right? So I'm not saying that explains why the ending might be bad or whatever. I still like the ending of Attack on Titan. I still think it made perfect sense. Aaron wanted freedom for everybody, and he chose the most revolutionary way possible, which was decimate 80% of the population to give your people a head start in life in some way, shape, or form. And he felt like he had the burden to do that. He didn't want Aaron, or not Aaron. He didn't want his friends to deal with that burden, so he took it upon himself. I get that. Now, Luffy getting Ace killed. I highly disagree. Why do you disagree? Do you disagree, Jason? Do you agree?
I disagree because he was gonna get executed.
Yeah, regardless. That's why I feel like, again, this is why I go back to media literacy. If people watch the Dart anime,
Ace got himself killed because he got rage baited.
Yes, he went on a mission that even Whitebeard didn't want him to go on and everything like that, and now he got captured, and now he was about to go get executed.
He could have escaped.
Luffy, yeah, even though Luffy didn't get Ace killed whatsoever, but either way, Ace was going to die, and even the admirals knew, okay, Whitebeard's not going to stay behind all this. He's not going to let this happen. This is like a son to him, something like that. He's going to go and save Ace. They didn't know Luffy was going to show up either, and this whole war happened. But at the end of the day, regardless, Ace was going to be executed one way or not, whether Luffy was there or not. It's just that, unfortunately, Luffy had to be there in person to see Ace die, and that was very traumatic for him. And that's why Malcolm thinks it's not a manly show, because watching a man go through trauma and having to have a friend, a community that heals you and supports you and everything to build you back up is masculine and Malcolm. So anyway,
not
yeah,
what I
apparently
said.
brotherhood isn't manly.
Never said that.
Apparently,
second of all,
apparently sticking up for your father is when your father's getting smack talk and you just want to show some respect even to the death. Apparently that's lame.
I'm sorry, what
Apparently
episode is
that's
that?
lame.
599?
You about to say what episode? What episode was that, Jason?
What episode
Yo,
was that?
that's
700?
like episode... No, it's like in the 400s.
Oh, okay. Not in the first couple hundred episodes.
Bro, you're acting like it wasn't gas from the get-go, bro.
It wasn't.
Bro, how can you watch Arlong Park and not be like, dang, that's beautiful?
See,
also, I gotta add for the viewers, I never said One Piece wasn't manly. Jason put those words in my mouth. He was like, "You don't think One Piece is manly?"
You said it's lame.
It's lame. It is lame.
How can it be manly?
No,
and
actually,
at the same time,
the characters are lame.
How can they be as good as they are and lame at the same time?
Nami, certifiably lame.
Whoa, that's crazy,
Absolutely.
bro. Why? How is
like,
she lame?
And we don't got time for this.
No. We have
time for this.
No. This is about to be a whole discussion. This will be a whole discussion.
I want to argue, bro. I don't want peace right now.
Referee, we're going to pause right here.
Only piece I want right now is One Piece.
One Piece is fantastic. And mind you, when the remake comes out, Malcolm, you better be watching it, because you have no excuse now. Oh, the episodes are too long. They're purposely condensing it for people like you, so you better watch it, man. You better watch it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
How was Nami lame?
Now, don't worry about it, Jason. Nami is not lame, but we know that. Malcolm's just a hater. That's all it is. Now,
Usopp is lame.
Usopp is not. He's
Usopp's one of the best characters in the show.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
I had to say
you know
this.
why? Because Usopp is our stand-in.
Guys, I gotta watch America fight in the World Cup.
I don't care. I definitely don't care about soccer's lame. See,
I'd
rather watch One Piece. I'd rather watch
One Piece. I want to see America win. USA. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Black Panther. Anyway, so where was I?
Portugal.
I think overall, his hot takes were like whatever to me. I think he said JJK. My biggest one was when he said JJK is just hands, no one knows the story. I think that is a big idea of like people. I made a video about this too. People, Jason remembers this one. I said a lot of people don't rewatch animes before they recommend it to people, and that's why you guys accidentally like get people to not mess with anime so much, because y'all will recommend anime that you guys watched as children, like Prison School or whatever, and remember to yourself, oh, you had a good time watching Prison School, not realizing as an adult that's a pretty weird anime now. As an adult, like watching it and seeing all that type of stuff. If you're taking someone who's a non-anime person and bring them into this, come on. So anyway, the reason why I bring it up for JJK is that if people who actually rewatch JJK like I did, I watched it like 3 times. It is actually very deep. The problem with JJK is that like it has the Hunter x Hunter approach where Togashi just introduces an element to you about the world, like the magic system or the lore or whatever, and he just keeps moving on as if you just will remember that in your head. And the JJK author, Akutami, Gege Akutami, he does the same thing. He'll tell you, hey, this is this guy's domain, this is his technique. All right, you know what he does. Now you go see him fight, and you should remember the rules and the stipulations that comes with his technique. The problem is with all you shonen nerds, you guys need people like My Hero Academia that to repeat the same quirk to you, the same power set over and over and over again, for you guys to remember that this person can turn hard. Their skin can turn hard. Pause. Their skin can turn hard. Oh, wait. Bigger pause. Wait. The whole body can turn hard. Wait. Y'all know what I mean. Hold on. Because now, hold on. Now I got to do this.
You said it.
I didn't say nothing. Hold on. My Hero Academia.
You better not cut that out. You're not going to cut my stuff out.
Hardened quirk. I'm going to keep that in there. Hold on. Hardened quirk. Be quiet. Yo, y'all gotta be quiet. Yes, this guy. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I knew what you were talking about.
We knew who you were talking about.
I'm saying this for the viewers. The viewers might be like, yo, why is he saying hard like that? Be quiet.
It's hard.
So, anyhow, that's my point, is that like when he says JJK just has hands, it just shows me that like you either was on your phone or you were just watching it and you wasn't paying attention to it and not realizing the depth of just the relationship alone between Geto and Gojo itself could be its own anime. That's how deep their friendship and bond dynamic is. So anyway, I'm off my high horse.
I think it's but the target audience for Jujutsu Kaisen is older than Shonen. So like he's expecting them to remember more.
It don't seem like it.
Jujutsu Kaisen's a seinen, bro. It's only in the Shonen demographic because the fights are so good that young bulls are watching it. But it's not a show for young bulls necessarily.
That's fair too. There's a lot of death in there too. That's true.
So it's tragic.
I think this has been a fun episode. I'm glad I can get on you guys' nerves. That's really all.
Have you seen JJK?
No.
Well, he saw clips.
He saw clips.
I haven't even seen clips. I have
That's
not
crazy.
even seen clips. We've been over. I've seen more than 6 shows. I just have not seen that many shows.
I would still recommend Jujutsu Kaisen for you.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think so too. Yeah.
I have a whole summer where I'm free.
I'm not glazing
I have
or
summer
anything, but I'll definitely recommend.
I'm glazing JJK personally.
I think it's a really solid 9 out of 10 modern anime.
It is. It's pretty solid. All right. So with that said, this was, respectfully speaking, it was great going through these hot takes with you two. We got a lot that we wanted to say off. There was a lot of things that we said that could have been its own video, to be honest with you, and maybe we will visit that in the future because I think those will be good to explore. Regardless, y'all in the comment section of this YouTube video, tell me your thoughts. What's your hot takes from the videos? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down there below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Again, this is James. That's Malcolm. That is Jason. And we are out. Peace. Okay, here's a take. Here we go.
Sword Art Online is a metaphor for 9/11.
Now, before we welcome in somebody with a counterpoint, please elaborate, if you will, because you might be cooking here or burning down the kitchen. We're about to find out.
Think about it. There's death in Sword Art Online. There's death in 9/11.
There's definitely a correlation.
No, listen. Think about it. National tragedy. National tragedy.
Okay.
There you go.
Bro, that's not the same. That is not the same.
That's the same.
That is
That is not the same, bro.
Instead of airplanes, it was VR headsets.
you know, Sword
No,
Art
Sword
Online
Art
and the
Online
Bible
was-
also have things in common too. I guess
Sword Art Online is about
Christianity
religion.
and Sword Art Online are the same thing.
See, here
Death.
we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, people died here and people died here. It's the same thing. People died in the Titanic. People died in Sword Art Online. They're like the same thing. They're
Yeah.
the same thing.
There you
It's a
go.
metaphor, actually.
It's a metaphor. What did she?
Oh, wait, no. I got a better
explain?
one. No, she didn't. But I got a better one for Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is a commentary on the transatlantic slave trade. Think about it. Think about it.
That makes more sense than whatever she said.
You are. Think about it. You join into this world and thinking nothing. You have no idea what's going to happen, and then it's ripped out from under you that this entity will kill you if you disobey their orders, and you have to play by their rules. Thus, same thing in transatlantic slave trade. You also had to play by their rules, or you was dead, and they had to follow the command of the leader of the ship.
Oh, it's almost like today, right now, bro.
Oh, here we go. See, he's about to go. He's about
Sword
to
Art
go.
Online is a metaphor for like being inside the Sword Art Online program is like being inside of capitalism. If you take the headset off, you die. You get cut off from your resources.
You can't tell if you're taking this serious or not because you're kind
No,
of
it is.
right. You're kind of right.
Sword Art Online is a commentary on Pornhub. And here's why. One, you have to put a headset on in order to visualize what you want to see.
Headsets on for Pornhub are different
And
type of
Pornhub,
movie, bro.
they have content where you can also watch VR videos to watch what you want to see. Thus, they're correlated.
Let me go to your place and find out you have a VR headset. I'm not coming back.
Anyone who watches porn with a VR headset is wild. Like, why are you doing that?
I'm rolling, bro.
I'm just wait,
Yo,
Malcolm.
yo.
What do you think? What do you think Sword Art Online connects to? You don't think that? See, this is why media
Sword
literacy.
Online, Sword Art Online is a metaphor for like being part of the American economy.
Sword Art
If
Online.
you take the headset off, you stop working, you stop running the wheel. Guess what happens, man? You can't afford rent. You get homeless. They make homelessness being a crime now in some states. You go to jail, you get out of jail, can't get a job, go back in jail because you're homeless again. You never leave, or you just die.
Exactly. Sword
You
Art
gotta think
Online.
about the socioeconomic state of the world, you know?
Sword Art Online is crap. I lost it because Jason made a very good point. Sword Art Online is a commentary on the Epstein files. I could dive deep into it, but there might be a sniper out the window, so I'm not going to go any further. But just know,
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm about to say
Sword Art
great
Online
hole.
and Epstein files are connected. Just go watch it.